Across Europe and the US, anti-Muslim sentiment has been on the rise 10 years after 9/11. The deep anti-Muslim sentiment manifested itself in the killings of 76 people in Norway by a lone gunman who resented the European concept of multiculturalism. Fortunately, in Singapore, the various interfaith activities spearheaded by the religious and community groups have helped maintain religious harmony and reduce the feelings of tension among the communities.
To be honest, I was quite concerned in the immediate aftermath of 9/11, 2001, and when we first had our JI arrests. I was not sure how the communities would respond to each other and how the Muslim community in Singapore would respond. But I would say that over the last 10 years, we have actually become stronger because the communities reached out to each other and created more understanding, stronger bonds.
The Singapore government also constantly reminds its people to safeguard its social harmony. Despite all the community efforts to improve security and build social cohesion, challenges remain.
But we are a very open country. We also have new immigrants, but there are also always threats of frictions. Even without new immigrants, we have from time to time people who are insensitive, who make remarks, who do things which get other groups upset. So we need more understanding, consideration between all communities in Singapore to work together for a harmonious society and country.
Strong proactive measures by the security agencies have also ensured peace and harmony and prevented terror attacks from taking place. 2/3 of those who were detained for their involvement with terrorism-related activities have now been released and are now part of the mainstream society.
Those who were rehabilitated, I believe that they are very committed towards peace, and some of them have even emerged as champions of peace. They specifically promote moderation, toleration, and coexistence.
But militants associated with JI will continue to target Singapore. And one reason the country has not become a victim is its success in foiling these plots thus far.
To prevent an attack, we have to be, 100 times out of 100, we have to get it right. But for an attack to succeed, only one time out of many, many tries, and that can have a devastating effect. So apart from prevention and protection, we must also have resilience, the ability to recover, the ability to rehabilitate.
The years of interfaith initiatives by many organizations are important early investments in building social resilience. They have acted as a safety net that will prepare the community ahead of a potential crisis.
我们通过这些机制相互往来，那么互相了解，那么最重要我们要传达一个信息，我们虽然是有不同宗教信仰，但是呢，我们都是以为善从心出发，我们的共同目标都是希望这是一个大同世界，一个和谐的世界。
Sebagai orang Islam, kita perlu menyedari mengukuhkan keharmonian itu adalah sebahagian daripada anjuran dan ajaran agama kita.
When Mumbai was attacked repeatedly by terrorists, the people displayed remarkable stoicism, courage, and immense resilience in the face of terror. Will Singapore society react the same way if a similar incident happens? 10 years after the discovery of JI cells in Singapore, and the subsequent arrests of its suspects, can the community live up to the challenge and remain equally resilient if terrorism unleashes its deadly force?
Singapore has built the right structures at grassroots or community level, and I believe that it has been built not overnight, but over a period of time, and it is multi-layered, and we will be able to withstand an attack.
I think the effectiveness, no one has actually tested it or actually measured it. But I think we should not let up on these efforts. There should be no let up on these efforts, and definitely we need to think of more activities that we can do as a community in Singapore.
What's important is that young people of today need to grow up in a society free of mistrust, suspicion, and racial tension. The last 10 years have shown Singapore's unwavering commitment to keep the society from falling apart.
国民富裕的时候，我们属下有很多马来士兵，他都跟我们并肩作战，当作我们是很好的一个保家卫国的伙伴。所以这种难得的这种友好这种同袍之情呢，我们不希望受到外来的这些事件的影响而毁于一旦。我们也知道，我们的马来回教同胞，他们都是相当理智，也相当是温和的一种。毕竟他跟我们在这块土地生长了这么多个世纪。
The journey has been, in fact, long, but I think rewarding and enriching. We came to terms with it very early on. It's not very easy for a community to accept that there are problems internally in the sense that we have to deal with this challenge by ourselves. But we actually stood our ground and realized that we have to do something about it. So if you ask me, last 10 years we've done well, but it is never a job that is complete because it's always a work in progress.
Terrorism can take many forms and develop from different types of radical ideology. Fighting terror is a long-drawn battle with no endgame in sight, and the nation has to soldier on, no matter how tough or how long the battle is. But what will keep Singapore's society together is the psychological strength and the ability to bounce back from a tragedy as one people.
Well, we know that this is our home. It's so small. And this is all that, certainly Singaporeans, this is all that we have.
In the teachings of Islam, there was a very famous saying, Hubbul Watan min al-Iman. To love your country is part of faith. In the teachings of Islam, it is important for a devoted Muslim to love and protect the country that you are born.
Our different communities have worked together to come closer together, to build trust with one another, to be able to feel more Singaporean, even though we know that there are tensions and problems in the world outside. And so over 10 years, we've had peaceful years and we've come closer together. It reminds us how happy we have been, and I think it should remind us how hard we have to work to keep this harmony together for many years to come.
A cohesive and harmonious society can indeed act as a potent defense against militant ideology. But danger can still lurk everywhere. The efforts by religious and community leaders to build personal trust and greater confidence will help ensure that Singaporeans will react and speak with one voice in times of crisis in the land that they all share in common. A familiar space they call home.